First of all, then, just your top line team news ahead of this one.
Not too much in terms of change. Unfortunately, Bex has suffered an injury. They forced her off on the midweek game, so doesn't look too good, unfortunately. So she's going to have another sort of assessment with a specialist on Tuesday, and we'll know more from there. And that's sort of the latest from the camp.
How, a few days on, do you reflect on the Spurs game? You had your chances. How do you reflect on that as a performance?
Look, not too bad. I think it was sort of a game that was on edge. We were probably a little bit unfortunate with a few refereeing decisions early on that we've had confirmation that it was incorrect, that it should have been a penalty and red card. So it's a little bit tough. But if we put that to a side and we look at the rest of the performance, first half I think they were a bit better. Second half, then we became into the game. We were stronger. We had to adapt a lot. It was a tough week in terms of late sort of exclusions and sicknesses and injuries, and so that sort of threw us about a bit. But I thought it was a decent performance, one that probably warranted at least a point, but again, it wasn't to be. So I don't think it's anything that's thrown us too much where we've now sort of. We don't feel good after that game. Naturally, we don't feel good not to get the win or to take some points away. But I still think it's been quite a positive start to the season.
Certainly not back to the drawing board. Just in terms of refereeing, I know you said that you think that the standard in the WSL could be improved. Where do you think they're lacking the officiating?
Look, I think it's not just the referees. I think. Everyone can. I think it's natural. It's quite a young league. It's growing. It's getting better. The intensity is getting better. So naturally, as we progress, everything's going to improve, and that's sort of what's been on display. I think from players, from managers, from referees, it is growing. But we just hope that just those like major decisions, and that's not just in our favour. That's just in general. But I think. As managers, as players, as referees, everyone goes out with the intent to do the best that they can. So I don't think anyone purposely goes to manage badly or play badly or officiate badly. So it's just one of those things. It was a little bit unlucky towards us on the weekend, and look, that's just part and parcel. I know they've had the best intentions. Just like we learn from games, I'm sure they're learning as well. So. I'm sure it'll be okay in the time to come.
And then you had, of course, the League Cup game in midweek. What did you learn from that one?
Look, I thought it was, again, quite positive. We had full control of the game pretty much until the equaliser. Massive chance to go 2-0 up, and then unfortunately they transition, goes to a set piece. We lose our marker, falls for them, and they score. And then, in the second half as well, started to create. And then again, just a bit of a poor clearance, ricochets off their player, falls kindly to Martinez, and we know the quality she has in front of goal. So they had those sort of two chances, buried both of them. So it's just something that we need to improve on. But I thought overall the performance was quite good. There was patches where we sort of lost it a little bit, and I think maybe the goal sort of missing a big chance and then conceding a sloppy one very, very quickly, that maybe upset our rhythm a little bit, but. We're considering all the changes, and we gave others opportunity. There was young Tahira from the academy that got to start again and play against the WSL opponent. I thought she done well as well. So there's a lot of positives other than the results. So, but again, another chance to learn and get ready for Sunday's tough encounter.
Well, I was just about to say, actually, finally, for me, that given those two matches, what have been the key learnings? What have you been implementing in training? And then as a manager and a coach, what is the ratio between, obviously, the recent learnings from the games and your sort of longer-term strategy of playing Arsenal as a specific opponent?
Look, we haven't really had the opportunity to train too much this week just because of obviously the games coming in thick and fast, and so it's a lot of recovering. We're a little bit thin at the minute as well, so we've had to be a little bit more on the side of cautionary. But every game is an opportunity to learn, each training session to get to know what we need to improve, how we need to again match up to the next opponent. We know that Arsenal possess a lot of strengths. Also, when they play at the Emirates, they're also on a little bit of a run of results that, again, I don't think they've been fair. So for some of them, I think they've been unlucky with some of the results, but it's something that they'll want to, regardless of how it's going, they always want to win at home. So we know it's going to be a tough game. We have confidence from our last meeting that we can get a result, and I think that's a good belief to have. And I think sometimes before the game starts, that's really important, that you believe that you can achieve something, and if we have that, then we'll give ourselves a chance on Sunday.
And I was just going to say, actually, just one final thing is that is there anything from the Man City game, of course, where you've talked a lot about being ahead at half time and then trying to have a different mindset to see it through? Is that something that you'll be reiterating to the players for this sort of similar sort of game?
Yeah, it has to be. And I think, look, it seems to be a little bit of a pattern where we're really, really good. And then, we're 1-0 up, and then it sort of feels like we might look to the result and the time left. And then our decision-making becomes a little bit hesitant. How we play, we become a little bit hesitant. So we need to learn that, not to look to the scoreboard, not to look to the time. Okay, if you got your last 5-10 minutes, game management, all those different things, but I think for too longer periods we sort of lose our way a little bit, and then we manage to regain it. So we have to have belief. We have to be able to play. We want to be brave. We want to challenge ourselves against what is the current European champion. So it's a fantastic test, a great step on our journey, and it's one we're looking forward to on Sunday.